All right, thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to talk here today. My name is Peter, and I represent the company aqubiq with the 2 Qs, as was just mentioned. So we are a young startup, and we were formed as a spin-out from DTU, from 3 different institutes. And what do? We work with water, and we work with measuring water, and we want to do that to save water. So we are developing an intelligent solution that is intended to help prevent waste of water. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is that it's about water. So the average Dane uses around 40 cubic meters in their households, and that has a value of around 2,500 kroners. It's sort of something we just take for granted, right? It comes out the tap whenever we open. But it's also a costly utility. So we spent these 2,500 kroners, but we don't know what actually. So what is it being used for? Is it the shower? Is it the laundry? Is it the dishwasher? Is it the toilet? We simply don't know, right? And with the lack of knowledge comes also the risk of wasting water. So, what can that waste be? Well, it can be a dripping tap. It can be like a toilet that runs, right? Could potentially also be a leakage, a small hole in a pipe underneath your floor in the bathroom, right? And that's a costly affair. So that's the water in Denmark. But when we talk about water and challenges, the challenges are actually way bigger out in the world. So as a matter of fact, around more than 650 million people live a life without access to clean water. Many of those are in developing countries in Africa. But water scarcity is also a problem in the developed world. We all know of the drought that's going on right now in California, where they actually put up regulations on the water. So what is our solution? Well, our solution is an intelligent water meter. So it's a meter that sits in your home and measures how much water you use. And it does a bit more. So this is an early prototype. We stand on 2 legs, actually. We have a hardware and we have a software part. So this is an early prototype of the hardware part. It's a geometry-enhanced ultrasound flow meter. That's the one over here. And I won't go into the details. The bottom line is that because of this bulge, that's the geometry part, you get an enhancement of the accuracy by a factor of 10 at low flows. So that means that you can actually detect these amounts instead of these amounts that you can do today. If you have a dripping tap at home, that's around 1 liter per hour, if it drips like 1 second, and the existing solution simply can't detect that, and that's what we want to do. So in addition to that, we also monitor your consumption, and we want to analyze the data and use that to give you information about what you use your water for. So exactly how much you shower, how much you use the laundry, right, and the dishwasher and so on and so forth, to give you a pie chart like that. And that gives you information about how can I actually save water, right? So we want to induce a change in their behavior. So we want you to know more about your water consumptions, and that will facilitate that you can actually cut down your water consumption by around 15% by that alone, right? So you can replace an old washing machine, or you can, cut down on the showers. There are tons of ways, but this increased awareness usually gives around 10 to 20% in savings. So how do we go from savings in Denmark to the scarcity in Africa? Well, we want to do a bit more, because we want to make sure that the water that we as Danes save in our private homes get routed directly in to those people living in the developing world without access to water. So we promise to donate 15% of the profit that we make on this intelligent water meter to development projects in Africa, and we are doing that together with the UNICEF that we are working with right now. Let's take a brief look at the market that we're considering. So this is a smart water meter, right? And I won't go into the details here, right? I can tell you that if you come up with some crude numbers, you end up with an annual market of water meters in Denmark of around 260 million kroners. Those are annual values. And our focus is on a small niche in this, around 30%, who are sort of ready to the technology that we are developing. And where do we go after we sort of gain traction there? Well, we want to go global, right? And the global market is bigger by an order of, say, around 60 or 70. So there are obviously many others doing smart water metering. In Denmark alone, there is around at least a handful or two. An important name here is Kamstrup and Sensus. So how are we different from those? Well, we are unique in two ways. Firstly, we have this geometry-enhanced ultrasonic flow meter that gives you this increased accuracy that detects the leakages. And secondly, we have some background within software. So we actually develop our own mathematical modeling and numerical simulations tool to design this. So those are the two main differences that make us unique compared to our competitors. So I keep saying we, right? And right now you only see me, but we are actually more people. We are 5 founders and an intern here. So it all started out with Morten Villadsen and Jens Gravesen, professor at DTU. They came up with this idea, and they presented it to me and said, hey, could you do some simulations of that? And I did that in my PhD and subsequently as an assistant professor here. And along came Jes Broeng, who's an innovation professor at DTU Photonics, and he sort of grew this idea to sort of the business potential, and he attracted a long list of experienced people here in our advisory board, along with the two young and very talented people, Rasmus Kalundan, a mechanical engineer, and Carl Vingård Kelsen, who's a student in design and innovation. So, where are we right now? We are focusing on two aspects. One is on the intelligent part. We are launching a pilot project together with a water supply in southern part of Sjælland, in Faxe to be more specific, to test on real persons, right? To give them this information and help them save water. So that's on the intelligent part. And on the other side, namely the hardware here, we are continuing the development of this principle that sort of lies underneath the technology. So, and why are we here? Well, we are here because we would like to partner up with people and companies who are interested in this development and who share our vision of actually doing something about the water crisis that is appearing out in the future. So with that, I can say that we have a poster over there, and if you want to know more, just come over and talk to me. And other than that, I want to thank you for your attention.